Okay.
Yeah, hello sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I had a couple of doubts in robot framework.
Mhm.
Shall I ask?
Okay. Yeah.
So this Python with robot framework, right?
Hmm.
Can be used with the PyTest?
No,
I
no.
mean, do we
PyTest.
use PyTest in robot framework to execute the cycles or number of test cases functions?
Yeah. So let me try to connect them. So robot framework is a keyword-driven approach. PyTest is completely different. PyTest and BDD can be combined. Okay, by doing an integration, but robot and PyTest cannot be combined because the way that we represent is completely different.
So we don't execute the like test cases using PyTest in the robot framework. It's a
No.
different command.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a different framework altogether. But yeah, see, the point is, the way that we represent in robot is completely different. Okay, but BDD plus PyTest can be accommodated together. In BDD you write something called step definition files. Okay, therein you can able to use the implementation of PyTest. But here in this robot framework we cannot combine PyTest. PyTest is altogether a different framework.
Okay. Okay. So, but at the same time, we are using the Selenium locators or Selenium libraries with
Yes,
robot framework.
yes, yes.
But do we call it as a Selenium framework or robot framework in such cases?
No, no, it's a Selenium. Actually, it's a robot framework. On top of robot framework, we are importing or we are installing a library called Selenium library. So, uh, due to that, or by installing Selenium library on top of robot framework, we were able to access or we were able to import or we were able to write the locators or which are there in Selenium. So initially, first we need to install robot framework, and on top of it, we need to also install one more package called robot framework hyphen Selenium library. So which helps us to use the Selenium methods and Selenium related classes that are already built in. Okay.
So, since we
Yes.
are using the Selenium on top of robot framework,
Yes.
so the
Yes. So
baseline is robot, hence we call it as a robot framework rather than
yes. 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 Yes.
Selenium
It
framework.
is. No, it's not Selenium framework. It's a robot framework, and we are importing or we are going to add Selenium library on top of it. That's what we install this particular package. So this is a
Correct.
sequence of packages we installed. Yesterday we have discussed that. Mm,
Correct. Correct.
yeah. So
Okay. Thank you.
yes. So let's start now. Without any delay. We have quite good number of people. So let's start. So first step is, yesterday we have clearly discussed about what are all prerequisites and what are all required. So you are supposed to have Selenium, you are supposed to have robot framework, you are supposed to have robot framework Selenium library. Yesterday we have seen how to import them. Okay, you can go and please watch my video if you have missed it. Okay, you will find it from DURGASOFT team. So once you have all this ready, you can create a file. You can create a project and file like this, new and new file type. Uh, just click on new here, and then you have to click on new. So just if you click on new here, you will be able to see something called file. You need to create a file type called like this. Okay. A robot framework dot robot. Anything dot robot. Okay. So I have created one file called robot framework robot one dot robot. So here the representation will be little different. Okay. So there is a library. So for everything you have to refer a particular library which is available. Okay. That library is nothing but robot framework Selenium library. If you just click on robot framework Selenium library, there is a library which is available. So this is actually, or you can say, in robot framework, okay, you have, so this is the documentation of robot framework, okay, this is the documentation of robot framework. This is the official documentation of robot framework, where you can able to find so many things, okay, such as, how to run the test case, what are the different types of tags that we have in robot framework, okay, what are the different types of headings that we can able to have, okay, I will explain you one by one, no problem. What are the different libraries we have, okay, such as selenium library, okay, apm library, rest instance, we have db library, and so many libraries we have. Similarly, there are some built-in methods what are all available, okay, and then tools what are all available. So you better, we are majorly focusing on web testing, so I'll click on that particular selenium library. When I just click on selenium library, I would be able to see the entire documentation. I can go and find the documentation also, okay, this is uh, so let's try to see whether, so the proper documentation. So you can just say selenium library robot framework, okay. So if you are able to see selenium library robot framework, this is the documentation which we are actually focusing on. So here, if you see right side, there are so many methods which are there for doing every operation in selenium. Generally, if you know selenium, if you're aware of it, that's okay. If you don't know selenium, also fine, because there is not much requirement of selenium in our robot framework, since it is purely a keyword driven approach. So if you see here, if you want to capture any element, or if you want to click on any element, see, it is showing as click element. So what does it says is, you can use a method called click element, which is an inbuilt method, okay, and the click element, then you need to say the locator, then you can able to provide whatever that element you want to click, okay. um, or you can also say these are the different ways of writing or representing that, okay, they are very clearly given. So they are saying that click element, you can provide id of that element, and then if you want to click a control after clicking an element, you can able to do this, or control alt if you want to press, you can do this, or you want to use something called action chains. There is something called action chains for doing a mouse over activity, so that way you can also do. So this is a pure documentation which is provided by robot framework, in order to use all the inbuilt methods that are there as part of, okay, as part of your robot framework. So these are all elements, okay. You can see checkbox should be selected, okay, if you want, if you're selecting a checkbox, you are supposed to use checkbox should be selected, okay. If you want to capture any page screenshot, you can able to use capture screenshot, okay. You should, if you want to check an alert is selected, you can use this alert is selected or not. These are all verification statements, okay. Let me start with the basic thing, okay. First we have to use something called settings, like this you have to use. So when you import, I already told, if you want to do this, you need to do an import, okay, settings. In the plugins you need to import IntelliImport, okay. IntelliImport has to be imported in order to IntelliImport Selenium library, in order to visualize it in a very good representation, okay. So I mean to say here is, so if you want to get like this colorings and all, you need to import that particular representation, okay. So first step is settings. So in settings, we are actually supposed to give the libraries that we are using, okay. So we have so many types of libraries. So if you go to the documentation of robot framework, you would be able to find a couple of libraries. Majorly, as part of our testing, we use Selenium library and DB library. Okay. These are the two major things we use. There are so many time libraries also there. Daytime library is there. Okay. Then if you come down, you will be able to see so many other libraries also. Okay. I mean to say so many other um, different libraries where you can able to import. Okay. We don't use lot of them. We only use very few of them. So for a mobile testing, use APM library. For REST API, HTTP, JSON file validation, we use REST instance. Okay. For database testing, we use database library. For different types of browsers, for Playwright, okay, if you're using something called Playwright related process, you can use browser library. Okay, but majorly we use Selenium library. Okay, there are so many other libraries apart from it, but we use only few of them, which is basically used for our testing. Okay, other things are not much used, and we don't use it as part of our regular automation that is required. Okay? Django library for the development of web, okay, UI applications. So we don't use, these are all libraries that are available. So whatever the libraries we are importing, currently we are importing something called um, Selenium. Okay. After this, you need to press a tab and then write Selenium library.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
You also mentioned that API testing can be done with the robot framework using the REST API, REST API library.
Yes.
So, are you going to conduct class for that as well in future?
Yeah, yeah. I would try to see whether I can cover it or not. In this case, in this course, it is not covered, but yeah. Um, I would try
Yeah,
to
not
see
in
if
this course,
there is
in
any.
future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, in future, I would try to see. Okay. So I cannot commit on anything, but yeah, I would tell you. Mostly, we will try to cover API also as part of this one. API testing also as part of our robot framework. Right?
And also in the robot framework, regarding Python, are we going to use object level programming in in with robot?
Object level programming, yes, we are also seeing. We are seeing page object model as part of our robot framework also. Okay.
Okay.
Majorly, this course is like an introductory course for those people. Okay. Since we will not be discussing very detailed about it, but we will discuss to the extent what is required for our 2.5 years experience level. So those points are very clearly covered. We will try to make sure that every topic is covered on high level, major.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I'm aware of Python. I just wanted to check how much level of Python we are going to leverage here.
We use basic Python, not only in robot framework. To in any frameworks we use in testing especially, we don't use advanced Python. We use basic Python only for testing especially. Basic means to the core level. So the prerequisite is to have Python and Selenium to the extent. If you don't know Selenium, that's okay, but Python is something that is mandatory. If you don't know Python also, that's fine. To the extent we can able to manage. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. So now the first step is we need to import a library like this way. Okay. Um, so if you see, everything is keyword driven. Okay. Keyword driven means, see, first I am going to import some library. After importing the library, okay, what I am supposed to do is I have to write my test cases. Okay. So let's see our DurgaSoft website. Um, so here, this is the first class. Okay. We will be discussing very basic of it. So I want to pass some text. Okay, I want to pass some text here. So generally, if you want to pass a text in a UI, any input field, this is called input field or input text. Sorry, input field or input box. These are called radio buttons. This is called checkbox. Okay, you need to understand the UI component, very important. And this is a submit button, and all these are links. Okay, this is a UI page. So if I want to enter something here, okay, my robot framework provides me a library. So this is all keyword driven. Keyword driven means there is an existing keyword for every operation that is there in Python for robot framework. So you need to find that appropriate keyword, and you have to use that keyword for doing the robots. Okay? So keyword is already existing. So you can also create your own keywords that we will see later. There are keywords that are already exist. Okay, so our target or our focus is initially to find the appropriate keyword that is there to do our operation, that makes our automation happen. Okay, so if you see here, there is a keyword called click element. Okay, there is a keyword called, I, if I go to I section. Okay, these are all keywords that are there. Okay, see, there is something called input text, input password, input text into alert. Okay, see, all these are actually the keywords. Okay, first thing, we will try to understand, see, the basic things that are there. Okay, um, so you have to know how to locate the elements. Okay, you have to know how to locate the elements, first step. Okay, so first step, how to locate an element. See, all this you can able to find. These are all locators which we have. Okay, majorly we don't use so many things, we use till here. We'll use name, ID, or a name, or class, or tag, or XPath, or CSS selector. So there are totally 8 different locators in Python that you already know. People, a lot of people would have already known about locators in Python. How to locate a UI element? Do everyone know how to locate an element? We have actually discussed a very detailed understanding of Selenium. But yeah, some people are new today, new for this class. Were you guys able to understand how to locate a element? How to locate a element? Okay, if you don't know, I'll try to explain you, because that is a main thing for doing an automation. These guys are actually doing some advertisements on this website. Okay, so if you want to locate any element, you need to go to that element, right click on it, go to inspect. Okay, inspect, click on inspect, or you can also say F12 instead of doing all these things. So this element, okay, this element, if you take, this is the marker, you can take this marker to that element where you want to enter. So this is the code for this element. Okay, this is the code for this element. Okay, the UI developer has written the code. This is the code for this element. This element has this many attributes: name, ID, type, class. All these are attributes. Attributes means anything that is having some key and value assignment, like some attribute and the value assigned to it. Attribute value, attribute value, attribute value. So this name equal to name. Name is attribute and name is value. ID is name, attribute and name is value. Type is attribute and text is value. So there are totally, everything here is called attributes, but there are only 8 locators. What Selenium says is, if you find, there are totally many locators we have. Totally we have 8 locators. Okay, so we have ID, we have name, we have class or class name we say. Okay, we have something called XPath, we have something called CSS selector, we have something called link text, we have something called partial link text. Okay, and we have something called tag. So there are totally 8 locators which Selenium provides us. Okay, if you have at least one of these locators available for that particular element to capture or to locate, that's enough. See, what are these locators actually meant? Locators are nothing but they are the basic, uh, you know, what do you say, identifiers to capture that location. Okay, so this location, if I want to capture, because see, what happens is my driver, whatever the driver which I'm going to carry, you need to install Chrome driver. Okay, okay, fine. Did I actually told you how to install this Chrome driver? Did I told you to install the Chrome driver? See, first step is you need to have these things. Yesterday, you guys have downloaded all of them. Okay. After downloading all of them, if you want to open any browser, first step that you are supposed to do is, okay, if you have completed everything, you need to do something called a Chrome driver download. Okay, because you need to have this driver installed in your system. You cannot able to open your browser with the Selenium if you don't have this driver installed. Okay, so you need to go and type Chrome driver download. After you have done with all these things, Okay, you need to go to Google and download it. Click on this. Okay, click on this. So you can see that these are all the downloads which are available. So we want to know which version we are using currently. So it's saying that stable version 126. Okay, beta version 127, dev version 120. So I recommend you to use stable version 126. So if you click on it, you will find the driver here. Okay, Win64. Okay, Chrome driver. Don't go for Chrome. Just download Chrome driver. So how to download 126? You cannot download 126 randomly. First, you have to check what is your Chrome version. Okay, if you just go to your control panel, okay, you will be able to see what is your Chrome version. See my Chrome version. If you see here, my Chrome version is 127. Okay, so I can download. I can go here and download the beta version. I can download this 127. I'll just copy it, and then I'll paste it here. If I just copy it and paste it, it will be downloaded, and I need to store that in some variable. Okay, in some folder. Okay, so this is the version. See, you see, right? So this Chrome driver dot zip will be downloaded. You need to actually open this, extract it. Okay, extract this. I already have it. Okay, so you have to extract it. After extracting, what you need to do, you need to once you extract, you will find something called. Let me also show it. So once you extract it, you will be able to see like this. Okay, this you will be getting. Copy this, control C, chrome driver dot exe. Copy this, control C, you have to do, and then you need to paste it in your Python scripts folder. Under script folder, you need to copy this. So why are we doing this? We are doing this for one reason. The reason is something like this. Your script cannot able to launch any browser. Okay, your script has to launch the browser. You are writing some code from Selenium. How your Selenium is going to interact with your browser? Your browser has to see, first thing, in order to enter some text in this field, I have to launch this website. I have to launch a DurgaSoft registration page. Then only I can able to enter something. So in order to launch this in the Google Chrome, I need to connect to Google Chrome. Okay, I cannot directly connect to Google Chrome. So that is the reason. What I will do is I will download Google Chrome driver. Okay, and I'll paste it in the scripts folder, which makes me to import, or which makes me to understand that, okay, in my pip folder this Chrome driver is there, so I can able to connect the Chrome using this driver. Okay, that is a representation. There is a huge history for Selenium, architecture. I have already discussed those in the previous batches. So for this batch, you can able to, I'll give you the high level understanding. Okay. um, is my voice breaking? Oh, is it? Is my voice breaking still?
Uh, it is fine for me. I don't know for others.
Okay. So if it is breaking for others, you please try to rejoin again. Okay. Uh, for me, it is fine. I mean, for others, if it is fine, that's okay. For everyone, if it is breaking, I will try to see if there is anything that I have to do from my end. Okay. So now we will try to see. This is one thing you have to do as part of it. Then you have to do library, Selenium library. So if you want to capture any element, you can capture using these locators. All these are locators. Okay. All these are different locators we have as part of our Selenium. Okay. So this is not Python file, right? You cannot able to do this. Okay. So ID will be directly visible. Okay. You can directly say ID this one, and then whatever ID is there. For example, in this case, we have something called ID. Okay. ID equal to name. So you need to say ID in robot framework. You need to say ID colon name, like this you have to find. Okay, similarly, if you have name, you should say name colon, okay, name. For example, here you have, right, here you have name also. Okay, and then class name. Class name, you can also say class colon, okay, class colon, and then if you have no text, so don't use whatever you have to use always the unique one. That unique one has to be used every time. Xpath is, right, you can use Xpath by any means, like double slash tag name. What is the tag name here? See here, you see, right, Xpath has to be written in this way. Control F, you can do control F here, okay, control F, then say double slash. What is the tag name? Tag name is input. Tag name is nothing but the first one, okay. This is the tag name, then open the brackets, at the rate, any attribute equal to value, that is the syntax. At the rate id equal to, id is one of the attribute, right? So all attributes are not locators, okay, all locators are also not attributes. Got it, right? So anything that is available, key and value pair, okay, is called as attribute and value. But in Selenium, we have to capture it any of the locators, not the attributes. Okay. So this is one this is one way to capture the element with XPath. You guys are understanding? People who are new, are you guys are understanding or you are not understanding anything?
Yes,
You
sir.
guys are
Able to
understanding?
understand.
You guys are understanding, right? New people are understanding,
Yes.
right? Yeah, because some basic locators is required. Okay. So we will try to see all other things later. But yeah, these are the major things which we have to focus on. Okay. So now let's try to see how do we write it. So first we have imported Selenium library. Then we can write our test cases. Okay. So which one we are writing? See, test cases under this component you need to write your test cases. Whatever the test cases you are going to write, that test cases will be implemented step by step. So I'll say registration page. So this is a representation because I want to give some
Sir,
heading for my running test case. So I'll say registration field or registration form. I will say okay. Then
sir,
I'll start
are you
writing
not
it.
going to,
Yeah.
excuse me, sir? Are
Yes.
you not going to import that Chrome driver in this framework here in the settings?
No. No. I'll tell you how to do it. Okay. So in settings, Chrome driver is not a library, right? Chrome driver is not a library. Okay.
Okay.
Chrome driver is not a library. So you can say open browser. So this is again an inbuilt method. Okay. If you go to this robot framework. So robot framework says if you want to open any browser, so you have to use something called open browser. Okay. So open browser is the first thing that you have to do in order to. Um, if you go to here, it says that open browser is a keyword. Okay. You can also create a browser. Okay. Once you have installed your system and you are there, your Chrome driver is there in this path. You don't need to separately install or create a driver. Generally, first step is to create a driver because we have to create the web driver, right? So this step you are supposed to write it. Which one? Create driver. Okay. Then you need to give tab. Okay. Tab you have to give. Please remember. Okay? See, different sections has to be separated with tab. Okay. Tab. You know what? Right? Tab is there, right? Tab is nothing but before your caps lock there is something called tab. So here you are supposed to give that particular driver, okay, which driver you are going to give, okay, that executable path you are supposed to pass, okay, but okay, executable path. Generally, you have to give like this, okay. You need to give the path where your Chrome driver is there. So not here. Initially, whenever you download it, it is there in desktop, right? If you don't have it, okay, if you don't have that particular driver in the path, you need to give like this. But since we have already created, it is already there, okay, you have to give this path, Chrome driver dot exe. This way you have to give, but we don't need to give this because the driver will be automatically captured if it is already there in scripts. Okay, so now we are going to open browser. Which browser we are opening? Which browser we are opening? We are opening a browser and we are going to launch a website. Which website? This website we are launching. Okay. What is this? Google. This is the website, right? So this is the website I'm launching. So I need to give this website like this. Okay, control V. This website. From where I have to launch? I have to launch using Chrome. Okay, this is that. So whenever I write this statement, what happens is it will open this particular Chrome. In Chrome, it will open this particular website. Okay. So after opening, what you're trying to do, you're going to enter some text here. Okay. After opening, you're going to enter this website. These people are actually providing advertisements. This text you will where you are going to pass the text, you are going to pass the text here. What text you are passing? You can pass any text, but this text is identified by ID equal to name. Okay. Like this, you have to write input text. Input. You can also just write a normal input text. What is the text you are giving? ID, name. Okay, ID, name. Then you have to use tab again. What you are passing there? I am passing Nikhil, suppose. So what does it represents? It represents, I'll come here, I'll capture this element by ID equal to name. Okay, and then I'll pass the text called Nikhil. So it will come here and pass Nikhil here. That's all. You guys getting right what I'm trying to say? So first step is to open the browser. Second step is to capture that particular component. So input text you have to use for all the input fields. These are all input fields. So input text is one of the if you just go and check the documentation, if you just type input text, okay, so it will tell you the syntax of it. It says that if you want to input any text, okay, given the text in the text field identifier by a locator. So this is the syntax it is supposed to use. You're supposed to use in this way. Okay? You can say like this. You can say web element, and then you can pass some text, which is a string type. Okay, which is a string type. You can able to pass this text using this particular input text method. Okay, you can also pass input password. Okay, input password also you can pass this way. You can pass input password and password field, and then password. Input text also you are able to pass like this. Okay, you can say input text locator. Okay, after input text you have to say locator, and then which web element you are capturing, and then text you have to pass. You can also use something called clear equal to true. Okay, that you it's not mandate. Okay, because if you want to clear the text, you can able to clear it before you want to pass something. Okay? That we will later. So now what happens? How do I run it? Then I have to close my browser. Okay, let me close my browser. I'm not showing you everything, but yeah, let's see how do we take it from here. You can say close browser. This is again an inbuilt method. So close browser is also, you can just go and check it. Close browser is going to close my driver. Okay, so it will close the driver. You can just close as the current browser. Okay, so now how do you run it? You need to run it by do right click. Okay, do right click. Sorry, like this. You have to do right click. Open the terminal. Okay, there is something called terminal. Open the terminal. Okay, and inside this terminal you need to provide a robot of robot1 file name dot. You can say dot slash is basically meant to represent the current folder. Okay, it's not mandatory to use dot slash, but if you use, that's okay. Robot file name dot robot, that is the way you have to do. So my file name is robot1 dot robot. Okay, so or you can say robot1 dot robot. So dot slash represent the current folder. So when I run it, what happens? See what it happens. You see, it goes to the internet. It goes captures that particular. Opens the browser. Okay, it is so fast. Okay, you have to see it. I'll use the sleep next time. See, it will type Nikhil. Oh, it fails. It is failing. Why it is failing? Test cannot be empty. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have all these things. Now it goes there. Okay, it's failing again. One test, zero pass, zero failed. So what it is saying is text cannot be empty. So it is saying that input text expected to got one. So it was expecting two arguments. Okay, it was expecting two arguments, and it says that only got one. What does it means? Can you tell me? You should also know what is the error. Okay, why it has failed? Can you tell me? Can you tell me why it has failed?
I think due to input value.
What input value? Now it will pass. Okay, so you got it right. One test case, one test, and one fail. You should also know what is the failure and how it is failing. So if any test case is failing, in the previous example, it fails. So it says that see the first one it is failed because of having some random data. Second time it is failing for a reason you should understand. It says that you should also know what is the error. So second time it says that um, you know it says that you are going to give one argument, but you it takes two argument, but it has got only one. That means these are all arguments, right? Input text, after input text you should have arguments. Okay, one should be the locator and next should be the text. So if you are having it near somewhere here, it is not recognized. So you should always press tab or two tabs, okay, to make it understand. So here I pressed one tab, so it will be actually considered as a single element. So now I pressed the two tabs, so this becomes a separate element, this becomes a separate element, and this becomes a separate. So input text locator and the string, that is a syntax. You can pass any string, that's up to you. Okay, understood, right? So now you see, right, this test case has passed. Okay, if you go to the terminal, see one test case, one test pass. Okay, you can also see something called this automatically. This, you will get all the log. You will get the log. Okay, you can just see the browser. You can Chrome if you want to. You will get a report. Okay, see, this is a report. This is an automatically generated report from robot. Okay, see how it is showing. It is saying that all the tests, all tests. If you click, this is the first test. Inside this test, there is one thing called one robot one. Okay, robot one. Total test is one, passed is one, failed is zero, and you will be able to see how much time it takes to run this test case. So this is a report that is actually being generated. Okay, this is the report which is generated by robot. Okay, clear, right, everyone? You understood, right? So you understood this, everyone. You understood this, how to run a test case. See, all these are actually auto generated. So now let's try to progress on this one. So
Hello,
first
sir.
we have entered. Yeah, yeah. Tell me. So Shiva, I would
In this,
request you to ask all the questions at the end of the class, because since we are actually asking, so let me complete my things. You can ask me at the end of the class. I'll give you some 5-10 minutes. Just note all the questions, and you can ask me at the end of the class. Okay, fine, right? Anyone, please ask me at the end of the class, because let me complete what I'm trying to tell you. So this is the input text. This is also input text. Phone number is also input text. This is also input text. This is click element we are clicking on, or we are clicking on a review button. Okay. So let me this element now. This is having name equal to phone number or ID equal to phone number. You can use any attribute. Same story. Input text tab. You should always use tab. Okay, between two elements. See, if it's the same element, you can use space. You have to use for different arguments tab. If it is not one tab, you should always use two tabs. Okay, ID it is ph underscore no. That is what given, right? ID is ph underscore no. Then tab okay, tab. Then you can give any phone number. Suppose you have to give any phone number, you can give like this. Okay. Next, similarly, I have one more. I have email also. Okay. This is so simple actually compared to other frameworks. This is so simple. Here I have ID equal to email, so I can also say input text ID email. So you should always press tab. So you can say any email at the rate Gmail. Okay. Um, Next, what we are supposed to do is, I want to sleep for 5 seconds. Okay, so sleep 5 seconds. 5 seconds means you will system will wait for 5 seconds to do that operation. Okay, this is basically again a inbuilt one, so which makes your driver to sleep for 5 seconds. Okay, so now what happens? What we have did actually we have did passing all this data. Okay. Okay, let me run it. Okay, let me run this. You can go to the terminal again, just run the same command. So what happens, it will enter all the data. It will open the registration. This is a representation of test case. Okay, you see, right, Nikhil, the phone number what we entered, wait for 5 seconds now and it will close. Clear, right? It says that test case is passed. Okay, so now suppose if I want to the browser actually, so you can also create something called you know maximize. If you want to maximize your browser, okay, you can also manage the browsers. You can just go and see the documentation. So if you go to the documentation, if you just type how to maximize my window, or you can just type, see, this is actually keyword approach. Okay, maximize browser window. Just need to type maximize browser window. So you have to just type, if you want to maximize your window after you launch it, you can say maximize browser. Okay, uh, maximize. Okay, small or capital, both works. Okay, browser. So if you run it, what happens? It launches the application, it maximizes the window, then it does. Okay. See, you got it, right? It will wait for 5 seconds. It is so fast actually. So now we will try to also understand. We will try to also understand. Okay, since we are passing this data, these are very common, right? This one and this one is very common. Okay, I can have a change of this later, but these are all common. So if I want to put this in a variable, okay, how do I do? So there is a section called variables. Okay, there is something called a section called variables. Variables means if you have any predefined variables to be created, we have so many options like this. Resources we have, settings we have, test cases we have, variables we have, keywords we have. Okay? So I will try to explain you one by one. So for example, I want to keep this Chrome in a variable. Okay. So I will say browser. Okay, like this. Inside it, I'll say browser. Which is my browser? What is my browser? Chrome. So I'll say browser equal to Chrome. What does it means? What does it means? It means you are going to store Chrome in a variable called browser. Okay. Similarly, if I want to also use something called my URL in a particular variable, I can also say this. So this URL I want to store it in a variable. I can also store it like this. Control X I can say, and then I can put it. Okay. This Chrome is also not it. So I'll just say browser here, browser, and then
I think URL, right?
yeah, URL. Which one URL? Oh,
No,
sorry.
first one
Yeah,
is URL.
yeah. Control X. Okay. You can also put any variable. Okay. For example, you can also put a variable called name. Okay. For instance, you can also give anything called name. Okay. Dollar. This one. Name. Okay. You can give name as Nikhil. So you can pass this as any variables you can predefine and copy it. See, now let me run it. Okay, the same. Okay, you guys are understanding what I'm trying to say? Clear, right? Yeah, this test case is one test case, one pass, zero. So this is a very basic way. Okay, we can also represent any variables in this form. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
yeah, in some registration forms, there is a first name and last name, and then the time which attribute can be the better to input the value. Like
Any
if there,
any attribute, any attribute, ID. I prefer ID, name, XPath, class name. These are the major things which I can recommend. ID is the first preferred one. Name is the second preferred one. XPath, third. CSS selector, fourth. Okay. If nothing is there, then we have to see for other options. Locators and all, you guys already know, right? Entire
yeah,
locators we have discussed to the very deep extent whatever is required. So since it is an ongoing batch and very few people joined after that, so locators part you guys know how to capture any locator. You can use any locator. Okay. So if you want to use XPath, let me use XPath here. Okay, for a difference. Let me use XPath. Okay. So this XPath, where is the XPath for this?
Excuse me, sir.
What is the XPath? Yes.
Could you please share at least the old recording of that class so that
Yeah,
we can?
old recordings. See, generally, this is actually a um, complete Selenium with Python course. Okay, um, old recordings actually are there with DurgaSoft team. Okay, you can ask them if you want to pay entire amount and then you want to join this batch, because see we have other frameworks also. We are going to see PyTest framework, robot framework plus API testing. We are going to see, and also the PyTest framework we are seeing. Okay, entire framework with project we are going to see. Going further, we are going to see BDD framework with project. Also, we are going to see. We are going to see data-driven approach with page object model. Robot framework PyTest with the page object model. We are going to see. Okay. Plus, we are going to see Allure reportings. Okay, Allure reports we are going to see. This is like extremely high. Okay, we are going to see BDD framework plus page object model plus reporting HTML report or anything that's a basic thing. We are going to see API testing, entire API testing, which is with BDD and DB integration plus, okay, which is nothing but REST API testing. Okay, we'll do REST API testing with uh, API testing. Sorry, with BDD and DB integration. So this is like max. There's nothing more than this. Okay, all these are going to be seen starting from robot framework. Okay, these two are not at all important. These two, because Excel sheet, if you know, data driven is already done. I already discussed these topics, but again I'll repeat if required. These two are not much required. Anything of this is much important, and that's API testing is also enough. Okay, there are so many jobs with only API testing, only robot framework. There are so many jobs. Only PyTest, there are so many jobs. Only BDD framework, there are so many jobs. If you know any of one of this, that's all. You are into automation. Okay, you have, if you know Selenium, plus all of this. Okay, that's all. Okay, Selenium is like a prerequisite. We have discussed every topic of Selenium already. I will start a new batch. Okay, if you are interested, I will see based on the number of people interested. Okay, otherwise you can get my videos. Some extra payment is required, I guess. Of my Selenium videos, you can get Python and Selenium. We have completed. Okay, Python plus Selenium. Entire topics we have covered. So you
Sir,
can reach them. Yeah.
in this course, we will learn about the robot framework or robot framework plus API.
Plus API I'm going to cover. Okay,
Plus
don't worry.
API.
Yes,
Okay.
that can help you. Okay, got it right. Don't worry about it. We are going to see all these frameworks also. If you interest, you have to pay. See, generally the structure is something like this. Each framework is 1,000. Okay, 1,000, and then API 1,000. So it's around 5,000 for all the frameworks. Selenium is again 2,000. Okay, Python manual testing. Okay, all together is again 1,000. Okay, so this way you can able to get allocated. So each framework is 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 3,000, and this one 4,000. Um, the Selenium is again 2,000, and Python plus manual testing. Okay, we'll also see manual testing. I told you. Okay, and then Git Jenkins. Okay, and then other extra topics, whatever we see. All these are again 1,000, and this is 2,000, and all these are again 1,000 each. Okay, this way the distribution of amount is this. So for a batch who is already enrolled with this thing, around 8,000, they will get everything as part of this. Okay, so they are eligible for all of this. So who are taking it as separate course, that's up to you to what extent you want a framework, which frameworks you want, you can enroll it. So this was a very minimal charge for taking 15-20 days of thing. Okay, uh, that's a very bare minimal charge, and we are covering so many things. Okay, fine, right? You guys understood it.
So,
So let's
all
get back
this
here.
we'll enroll for all these frameworks. At least could you
Okay,
please support by providing the Selenium Python videos so that
yeah. See, videos Ramkoti, it's not with me actually. I don't have any access. These people, what they do is they have a separate recording drive they will have, and they will share it across. Okay, to the students. So
okay,
once you do payment for this batch, I'll add you to a group, and you can communicate with the existing students how they are sending, because I don't know how they are sending videos to them, where they are
okay,
sharing, and all these details I was not aware of. So you can
okay.
reach to them, you can ask them how they are sharing, and you can also get the details from them if
Thank
required.
you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So you can also use XPath as I told you. Please listen. XPath, the same thing. For, suppose for email ID we are using XPath. What is XPath? You know, right? Double slash input at the rate ID equal to email. That's right. Right. This way you can use. Got it right, everyone? And let me run it. This is a very basic first class, right? So we are not seeing much things. We will try to try and execute this time. So it is same. Okay, it is same like the other things. So now you can take separate sections also. Okay? For example, yeah, it will wait for 5 seconds and it will stop. That's what we kept, right? Yeah. So next element, what are we doing? Okay, what are we doing? This is actually a radio button. Okay, there are two ways to handle. One is we can use click element for every operation, either for radio button, for URLs, or for checkbox. Okay, so there are two options. One is you can use select a radio button, and then you can give that radio button. Okay, this way is one way. Okay, this one I'll tell you later, but yeah, we will try to see. You can go to the documentation. See, documentation is a basic thing for everyone. Okay, because this is the keyword driven approach, and you're supposed to know every keyword that is part of it. And there is a huge demand for robot framework. You don't need to ask me, or I don't need to tell you. Go and search in internet. There is an extreme high demand. So select a radio button. If you see select the radio button, there is something called select radio. Okay, it says that you have to say select radio button, group name and value. That's understand. See, select radio button, contact and email. So what does it means? Select radio button. Okay, I told you select the radio button. What is radio button? This is the radio button. Radio button means like this round color is called radio. This is called checkbox, square color. So you can use any of this. ID is there, value is there. You can say student, and then okay, you can also say student and then value. Okay, in a simple way to make you understand, how do you select a radio button? Okay, so you can use something called select a radio button. After that, you can also say which radio button you are supposed to select.
The screen got stuck, it seems.
Or is it? Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. I don't know others.
Yeah, it's audible.
See here, if you see any of the attribute and that value. So which radio button I want to select? I want to select. Suppose I want to select student. Okay, student value is student. Right? You can have anything. You can have any attribute. That attribute you have to give, and then the radio button name we have to give. Okay, here in this case, this is something called student. So what it is written here, you have to use that. It is written student. Okay, control V. Then we have to use. Then we have to use. What is that? What is that attribute? That attribute, the label is nothing but here. I mean, the label is student. Okay, the value is student, and also the label is student. That means this one is also student. Okay, the label is also student. You can either use this way. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. I will try to run it. Either you can use this way, or I'll tell you other way of using it. Okay. So now what it is actually doing is it's failing. Value staying. Okay. Okay. So there is no value, name and value. We don't have both of them. This is the name actually. This is the name we have. Uh, both are not actually same. This is not supposed to be used. Yeah, you can see, right? So it will complete your test case. Got it, right? So you can use this means select the radio button. What is the value of it, and what is the what is the name of it, and what is the value of it? Okay, so this is the name of it, and this is the value. Okay, name of it and value of it. Okay, this is one way of approach. If you don't want to use, you can use something called click element. Click element is one more option. Uh, click element, click element, and then you have to give the locator. Locator can be anything. Same way we have value equal to student. We can use XPath here. Control F, double slash input. You guys are getting right at the rate value equal to student. This is the way you write your XPath, right? XPath can be written any attribute equal to value. ID equal to something, name equal to something. That should be unique. See, it is a unique one. Okay. So now what we have to use? We have to use this. So this is also more acceptable. If you want, if you don't want to use any other attributes like that, we can use this one. Okay. So now let me run it. It does the same action like the previous one. Okay. So for if you want to separately select a radio button, you have to use select a radio button. If you want to click on any element, no matter whatever it is, then you can use something called this one. Okay. You got it right now. So better use click element. Click element is mostly used. Yeah. Now I will give you time to ask me questions. You can ask me anything. Okay. So I'll do one thing. What I can do is let me in the registration form only. Registration form input fields. I will say input fields. Okay. Similarly, I will separate it. This one as registration form. Okay. Uh, radio button. Okay. Okay. Now, what I can do is I can use like this. I can use like this. How do I use it? Is I will use in this way, such a way. I will use. Sorry, I will use in such a way. I'll copy this. Okay, I'll copy uh, this particular component. Okay, and paste it. So that means I will say instead of this entire thing, I'll copy not open browser. This open browser is left like that. Control X. I'll put it here instead of everything. Okay. Okay. Open browser I'm putting here. Okay, I should say registration form because it will not work. Okay. Let me do one thing. Control X I'll do. Okay. So this part I will keep it in separate section. Open browser I'll keep it in separate section. Okay. I'll say open browser. Okay, I'll put this particular one. See, I'm just sectioning it. Okay, the only thing I'm doing is I'm trying to do a different section. Okay, so now what I can do is I will write everything, these things, all these things I will put. Sorry, this one also I'll put it here. Control X, and then I'll put it here. Control V. Okay, instead of writing all these things, okay, in my test cases, okay, I will write all of them. Okay, I will just copy everything. open browser and close browser. I'll also use something called close browser. Okay. Okay. So what I will do is I will not write all these things. Okay. I will just say like this. Open browser. Please listen what I'm doing. I'll copy it. Control C. I'll paste it here. So this keyword is actually this. Okay. That's the meaning of this keyword. Okay. Then this keyword is representing this. You please understand what I'm trying to say. This keyword is this one. Okay. Then this keyword is this one. This keyword is nothing but this. I'll remove all of them. You guys are getting right. So this keywords, I don't need to write everything. I will write step by step here. Okay, the steps are already defined in my keywords. Are you guys getting what I'm trying to say? So what happens is it comes here and sees, okay, open browser means, oh, this one. Then it will implement here. Okay. Registration form means, oh, this one. It will come here and it will implement. This one means this one. You got my point? So keywords are nothing but it's a representation. So in order to open my browser, this is what I'm implementing. So it will come and implement this. So it will run. So before running it, it will go here to the keywords and take this. Okay. You guys are getting my point, everyone? Are you getting my point, everyone? Okay. Test cannot be empty. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, let's try to do it. Open browser, expected 0 to okay, fine. So there's a little change that we have to do here. This is just a simple representation, but yeah. So now what we can do is,
I think driver name we have to give
no, what is the driver name?
from.
Where we are supposed to give? I didn't get you. Some what do you say? Some kind of gap.
In
I
the
think.
variables, browser is
Hmm.
mentioned.
Where in the variables browser is mentioned where? Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry. You are saying that here I'm supposed to
Right.
pass, right?
Oh, it is there. No, it is there.
No. That actually that one I'm not supposed to remove. I mean, open browser. I have to keep it like this one because um, this is a basic thing which I'm supposed to use. Control X. Control X. I will use this for sure. Okay. Then we will use the other ones. Browser, close browser, and all we will use like that because they are direct methods, right? We cannot change it. Okay. And other things we can probably change. Yeah. See, the point is browser. We cannot able to create a new one. Browser is really the main thing that is required, okay, to be passed as part. But in this case, failed. Maximum limit of started keywords and control structure existing. I don't know. These are all the intermittent issues and all. That's not a problem. Okay? What is the issue? Maximum limit of started keywords and control structure exceeded. There is no such thing actually, because this is something that's you know driven one, right? So keyword driven one, right? So everything has to be so clearly managed. Only then it works. Okay. Yeah. It's pausing. Okay. So you got it right, everyone. You can have a separate section, and then that section can be called separate. So this means I don't need to write everything here. I can write it here, implementing, then just call this method. Implement and then call it. You guys are clear about this, everyone? Everyone understood what is settings, what is variables, what is test cases. So this section will run. Okay. So it will. You are going to open a browser, keeping this URL, keeping this browser name, and maximizing your browser registration form from input fields. Immediately it comes and does these actions. Then registration from radio button. Immediately it comes and does these actions. Closing browser. All this is okay. Yeah. So now I would request you any questions from anyone. So some intermittent issues would come because of number of usages and all. Yeah. But yeah, we should be more clear about this. Any questions, anyone? You can ask me now.
Yeah. Actually, just wanted to know, in front of the open browser,
Hmm.
with the help of open browser will open. But
Hmm.
why we are mentioning dollar URL and dollar browser? Just
No, these are all variables, boss. You can give any name. See, we are opening browser, but which URL we are
okay.
opening?
If we will not give any name, then browser will open. Then is there any difficulty for us?
See, browser means what browser? See, we have to mention which browser we have. We have Firefox support.
Okay. You mean to say like Chrome and anything?
Yes, that's what I give, right? In the variables, I said browser is nothing but Chrome. So when I give browser, it will take it as Chrome. Okay. When I say URL, it will take as this URL. So
Okay.
you got it
Okay.
right now. This is the
Uh,
variables representing.
Firstly,
See, instead of
define the variable, then from there
yes,
we can
yes,
access the variable
yes.
like the
You
class.
can define any variable name. You can give any name. This is your name. Whatever the name you want, you can give. Okay.
Okay.
That name is nothing but Chrome. Okay. In my case, this URL is nothing but this one. You can give any name and a value. That's up to you.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah. Got it right. Yeah. These are variables which we define it. You can also set a variable like this. Okay. You can say, for example, mm, suppose, yeah, you can say you can set any variable for any of the attribute also. Okay. So let me also check title to be validated. Okay. Title to be okay validated. So you can also go to this to find the should be validated. Okay. Title should be existing, or you can able to go to this library and type title. If you want to validate the title, you can just go and search title. Okay. So title should be, okay, title should be. If you just click on this, you will get it. So title should be, it will, you have to give some title that equals some message. Okay. And that means you're supposed to pass this way. Title should be, title says that title should be. So title should not be, since it is a same component, it is a keyword. you should give space. See, always keyword should be space. Okay, should be, you can give any title. See, what is the title of this website? You know, right? Title of this website will be generally in the head. You can go here and check. This is the title, right? Title you are able to see, right? This is the title of this website. Okay, you can just copy paste it. Control. Okay, it should be like this. Okay, this is, so now it is a validation statement. So if suppose this title is not matching, it will not even close your browser. Let's see. Okay, so this is kind of validation statement you guys always need to have in every instance of your automation. Okay, see, your test case will fail if the title doesn't match. Okay, it will not even proceed to the end if the title doesn't match. We got it, right? This is where we are validating, like an assertion statement. Suppose I am giving something else. There is nothing like this title, right? Okay, now you see. The title is not matching in this case. Okay. So it will fail your test case by saying that title should be this one, but you are given something else. Okay, it was actually supposed to be like this, but you are given this. You understood, right? So this is an assertion failure. Okay. So, so validation is required for test case pass, and you should always keep these validations every now and then in your steps. So you guys are clear about it? How to create it? You can go and check the report also. Okay. You can now go and check the reports. So if you want n number of test cases, you can also say open Chrome browser. Okay. Google. Okay. You can just write n number of test cases. Any heading you can give, and that heading you say open. Okay. Browser. Okay. I'll just copy this. This time I'll say URL one. Okay. Let me say something else. Okay. This time I'll say Chrome. I'll open Google Chrome. Okay. HTTP Google Chrome. What is the URL? Let's say https google.com. Okay. Okay, so this is a URL, right? So you can say you can have n number of test cases. So in a simple way to make you understand that, n number of test cases you can have. Okay, you can pass this URL one. Okay, okay. You can also pass the browser. Where you will. So in a simple way to make you understand that, you can also check the title. Okay, what is the Chrome title? Title should be, see, always tab is required. Okay, what is the title of this? Google, right? So how many test cases we have? Tell me. We have two test cases. Clear, right, everyone? The two test cases, two passed, zero failed. This is the way it runs. Are you guys clear about it now? You can close the browser after that.
Sir, the test case name or keyword name, is there any format should be given or any text
Keyword
should be
name,
fine?
any test should do. Anything. See, keywords is nothing but like you are going to put some text. or some data into this. Anything, there is no restriction. See, first thing is like open browser should be given, because this cannot be made as a keyword. You understood, right? So that's I understand. See, any test case is made as a keyword. So initially we also try to do this. This is not actually acceptable. So you should follow some standards of robot framework, and you can customize it as per your requirement as much as what you can. Clear, right? Everyone?
Okay. So other framework like in the PyTest Selenium, we use a
Mm-hmm.
find element, right? Here in the similar way, we use input text.
Yeah.
Um,
So since
correct.
robot framework, yes, correct. Robot framework is purely a keyword driven approach. Keyword driven means there is some keywords already defined in robot framework. Okay, for every activity or for every operation that you do. So you have to use that keywords in order to do that operation. In your any of Selenium or anything, use driver dot find element. You give that XPath or something dot send keys. Okay, dot click, that you do it in other frameworks or other generic Selenium automation. But here in robot framework, there are some specific keywords for every operation. For opening a browser, like we say HTTP, there we say driver.get and we pass the URL, right? Here we have to say open browser. If you want to maximize window, there you say driver.maximize underscore window. Here we have to say maximize window browser. Okay. If you want to click on input any element, you say driver.find element. That element dot send keys you will say like this. Okay. So see, there's one more. Okay. Driver dot the same thing. Okay. The send keys you will pass. Okay. So here to say this, okay, input text of that ID, and then the way. Okay. Similarly for phone number. Similarly for email ID. Okay. This is Selenium. Whatever we are seeing is Selenium. Okay. You have to do it this way. Similarly, if you want to click on an element, we'll say dot click. Find the element by click. But here you say click element, and then you have to pass the text part. I hope you are clear, right? Close browser.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll say
So
driver dot
over there,
close. We say yeah.
yeah, there it is all method based. Here it's keyword
Mm.
based.
Yes, robot framework itself is a um, keyword based. See, robot framework will automatically capture the screenshots if the test case is failed. Okay, that is also, see, if you see two screenshots are captured because of the reason. See, it is showing here, okay? Because some test case would have failed in this case. Okay. It will auto generate the report. So everything is actually handled by robot framework. The work of us is made easy. The process of automating is very easy by just knowing. See, this actually robot framework came into picture only for user acceptance testing. People on the business level and people who are in the the acceptance level, right? People, the high authorities, or you can say whenever you want your product wants to go into market as a live. Okay, so the last level testing, alpha and beta testing, is generally done by your business analyst who are providing your requirements, or your product owner, or your high level authorities who are actually accepting the application or the product. Okay, they do the testing. They doesn't know coding. Okay, they are not aware of much coding. They are not much into detailed understanding of how the backend runs and all. Okay, so they want something that can make it more easy to make their actions possible. They cannot do manual testing also for such long big application. So what they do is they try to run the test cases in robot framework. They can easily understand what test cases passed, what failed. Okay, and they can also code it by themselves by just providing the email keywords. So there is no lot of logic. So there is, this makes this particular framework very much used in the market. Almost, if you see Selenium with Python, whoever is in the market, around 50 to 60% of market is actually been shared or been occupied by robot framework and PyTest framework. Okay. Selenium with Python, there are only two major frameworks which are having extremely high jobs. One is robot framework. You can just search in Naukri, LinkedIn, or any websites. Every company has robot framework jobs. Okay? Every company almost. Okay. So because see, companies want something that to be easily automated. But they don't want they don't, this is a free source first point. It is like open source. You don't need to pay license for it. Okay, and it can generate extremely good reports. It can also capture the failed test cases. It can. There is no much coding is required. What companies, what clients want? Clients want the same thing, right? Clients wants to do something in an easy way and can do good, UI representation. That's what robot framework provides. Okay? Which in turn help us to do automation, everything whatever we want to do in application. So because of this, there is a huge demand of robot framework and PyTest and BDD framework in the market. Okay, so robot is the highest job market where you can able to find. It is easy, very easy. There's no much coding required, but the understanding of it is good. So slowly we will progress one by one. So I hope everyone understood this. Any questions? So you can find my previous videos from DurgaSoft team, or you can ping me, or I'll create a group and I'll add you to that group once your payment is done. Don't ping me before payment because I'm not supposed to do that. DurgaSoft team will again ask me. So please do payment only after your please ping me after your payment is done, so that I'll create a WhatsApp group within us, and then we can communicate anything that is required. Got it, right? Any
So,
questions, anyone?
Yes, sir.
Nikhil,
Sir, one last question. Regarding
Hmm.
failure test case, right? It is a downloaded
Hmm.
screenshot. Like in PyTest or Python, we use files, right? In this case, we don't have to use files, package, or any package. It's all automatically downloaded. Right?
No, no. It is automatically captured. There in PyTest, we have to write some tags to capture the failed test cases. Here, you don't need to
Great.
use anything. It will auto capture. That's what. See, Sonal, yes, every framework has its own, um, you know, framework has its own syntax. Okay, every framework is different from others. You need to know each framework in a different way of understanding. It's not the same. Okay, and how to comment it? Comment the code by using slash. Okay, you have to use slash for commenting. If you want to comment some code, you have to use slash. Whatever you write, it doesn't work. Okay. Yeah, and 5 days a week, yes, 5 days a week. But yeah, we will also see on Saturday. Not immediately this Saturday. Probably from next Saturday we will see. Saturday also will. Sunday we don't have. Sunday for sure we don't have.
Nikhil,
Okay.
can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Nikhil, if you have time, can you stay back for 5 more minutes once everyone leaves?
Can I share? Sorry. Okay.
Can
You
you
want me
stay
to
back
stay
for
for
5 more
5 minutes?
minutes? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure.
Is it all right? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks, everyone. Yeah. If anyone has anything, you can ask. Otherwise, you can please feel free to drop. We will. I'll share this file to you. Okay. Please ping me once the payment is done. For others, you will get it. But yeah, for people who has joined newly, so once your payment is done, please ping me. I'll share you this notes. Okay. That's what I'm. You know,
Hello.
been asked to do. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Who is this?
Yeah, sir, this is Rajesh.
Yes, Rajesh.
Yeah, while clicking the radio button, you selected uh, currently tag and student name.
Hmm.
While selecting the label, we got some failures. The what is the reason for that? Like,
No, no, no. It takes like this. Okay. Generally, you have to pass. Select the radio button. Name and value. You have to pass.
yeah.
Either
Oh,
I see name and value. Okay. Better we don't use select radio button. We use click element. Okay? I will try to tell you because it you don't need to use that select radio button for every instance. Only when there is name and value associated, it will be.
we
See,
preferably like click process only, click
yeah,
method.
click element. If you don't use, you can also use like this. See, it works like this also. Okay, select radio button. Okay, then you have to use the name attribute and value attribute. These two you are supposed to use. Okay, got it right. Okay, it works the same way. If you have name, see in this case the name is okay. If you don't have, don't use it because that's what the syntax says. So here, if you see for this element, name is current. Okay, current
Mm.
element. So this one you have to capture and you have to This one you have to capture Control C, you have to do, and Control V you are supposed to do. Okay.
Yeah, if there is no name
And then
attribute, can we use label?
no, label we cannot use.
Okay.
So if you don't have, just use click element. Okay. It does the same. So you can comment it by saying like this. Okay. And if you run it, you will get the same. Yeah. So now, if you don't have this, anyone can drop out. Okay. If you don't have anything. So Richard, I actually have some taking. Yeah. Please come.
Sorry, Nikhil, you can't stay back. Say.
No. I'm saying I have some important work to take care now. Yeah. Others can drop off. We can quickly
Yeah.
discuss on it. Yeah. Please drop off if you don't have anything. Others, yeah, this is passed, right? Like this. Yeah. Others
Okay.
can please drop off if you don't have anything.